You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Saturday Night Live After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's SNL After Show.
Mr. Big Stuff.
Who do you think you... Oh my gosh, I blew it!
I was just gonna ask you, who do you think you are, Danny, but you're not Mr. Big Stuff.
I'm Mr. Medium Stuff at best, okay?
All right. And on that note, guys,
this is a song. Did you guys rehearse this?
I did. I watched the episode. So, of course, if Keaton was here, I'm sure she'd be dancing with me as well.
Keaton.
Well, guys, welcome to an all-new episode, season 39, episode 17, hosted by Louis C.K. Musical guest, Sam Smith.
Sam Smith. Can we just let this ride for a second?
Yeah, get it, Danny. Yeah.
This is going to set the tone for the rest of the night.
Bum, bum.
Right there. Perfect! Stephen Lemieux. Thank you, sir. How are you back there, sir?
Doing better now that I'm listening to the SNL After Show here at AFTERBUZZ TV.
You're so kind.
He's such a sweet pie. I don't even know what that means, sweet pie.
Roya, this was... What did you think of this?
Well, before I jump into it, I'm your host, Roya Taheri, and joining me is Danny Hoyt.
Hi, guys. My name is Daniel Jacob Hoyt, and I loved this episode.
You thought it was a great comeback for the break?
Oh my gosh, yes, too many breaks. This is a weird pattern this season, but we have 3 in a row. This was, what a way to kick off these 3 in a row. I am so excited.
I still don't think it's because of March Madness that's what the break is, because isn't March Madness still going on?
I mean, it is. The last game just ended just a little, well, not the last game for this weekend just ended. Then there's games next Saturday and Monday, and then it's over.
Therefore, it should be on a break still if it was for...
So you think there's a conspiracy?
I'm just saying, guys. I wasn't too crazy last time. Just saying.
Guys at home, do you think there was a conspiracy? Because I don't see a conspiracy in that.
I don't know.
No, I just think it's been a really weird pattern. But this 3 in a row, and what a great way to kick off the 3 in a row. Louis C.K. came back. I think people were interested to see if he was going to hit just as big of a home run. I think he hit a better home run.
Yeah?
Yes, than last time.
I agree with you.
You're going to be shocked at my letter grades.
Ooh, am I? You might be a little shocked with my letter grades then. I enjoy Louis C.K. I think he's great. There were some sketches I just did not enjoy. But you know what? Let's just go right into the cold open, which is Affordable Care Act viral campaign. Basically, it's Obama trying to get his PR up to support Obamacare with Instagram, Twitter, and Vine. And the first Instagram photo that they use is Obama holding a healthcare.gov sign, and he's wearing Pharrell's hat.
It's topical. It's
and
good.
Smoking an e-cigarette.
You know who would love this? Keaton would. Keaton, we miss you, by the way. Keaton's out this week. Keaton would have loved this, I think. Yeah. And let me guess, you did not.
No, I loved this sketch.
Okay, good, good.
I thought it was a great start to the whole thing. I'm sorry, my tone was completely... trick ya!
You did.
No, I enjoyed how Noelle was very cute in the way she... Like, everyone played a really good role.
Yeah.
I loved... My favorite was the Twitter photo when Kim Kardashian, Harry Styles, played by Brooks, was amazing.
Okay, and let's say, because we've talked about this before, Brooks came out of, obscurity. He's not an actor. He's not, he's just a funny guy. So for him to do an impression of somebody, he's getting better at this. Obviously, somebody coached him, but his mannerisms, I have a prediction on this. I think Kate McKinnon has been coaching him for mannerisms, because it was a little similar to her Bieber impression. His manner, I'm not knocking it,
right? Because
Harry Styles is goofy,
yeah.
But he kind of had like
he was
the never stop moving. Yeah, it was good.
I mean, do you watch award shows, MTV Music Awards?
I do, except he's like a foot taller, but it was great.
Yeah, minor detail, but
details.
Still, everything he did with the, and even when they performed on SNL, he had the same look and hair and style, and I loved it. And then of course I love the cat dressed as Eliza from Frozen. I just love that they brought a cat in.
Don't hate me for this. What? I still have not seen Frozen.
It's okay, I haven't either.
I know it's officially made like
cats,
$1,072 million.
Yeah.
What is 1,072? No, that's real. It's not, I don't know the billion equivalent. I just know it's 1,072 million.
It's a lot.
Anyways, I'm watching it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But yes, I liked it. Here's my only thing with the beginning. Well, getting to see Kate McKinnon as Justin Bieber is always a plus.
Topped it.
Yeah, always a plus. Never gonna be mad about that. It just there wasn't a big enough payoff for me. Like the kiss wasn't a big enough payoff. It was,
Really?
yeah, I just wanted a little more.
Well, okay, before
It was good.
in the very beginning, I loved. Did you catch it when the audience started clapping too late and Jay was already going into his his lines? Did you catch that?
No.
Because there was no clapping in the beginning.
Wait, what happened?
You know, usually when they go into a sketch, they're like
Yeah.
clapping, yay. Well, there was no clapping until he was about to speak his lines, and they started clapping, and then he stops, and he looks at everyone starts cracking up.
I did
Because they're like,
not.
oh, what's with this?
I did
And
not see
they just
that.
go with it. Oh, it was, you
You're a
missed out.
details person.
I just thought it was funny, because I did notice the clapping, and why are they not clapping into the opening, which is weird. See, exactly.
And then he started his lines like right here, like in the
Right?
middle of it.
Yeah, he just, what? And then it was that awkward, like, stop. It's like, stop. Yeah.
Guys, that's awesome. I'll have to go back and watch that.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing, I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of lines.
It was good to see Nassim as part of the live from New York at Saturday night.
She wasn't a part of it.
Not Nassim,
Noelle. Yeah, but
I
did
mean,
you? Oh, there's another detail thing. I think she was blocking Kate McKinnon.
She was. I saw that, and she moved her head the last
Well,
second.
she was pulled by Taryn.
And then Kate
Taryn
started
pulled her
jumping,
over.
yes.
Yeah. So I thought that was cute that they all worked together
I
to
did
get
notice
in.
that.
So that was great. I really enjoyed it. I think they should create a sketch with Brooks Wheelan as Harry Styles.
So let's talk about a future prediction real quick.
Okay.
If and when One Direction comes back on, that Brooks Wheelan does something with Harry Styles as like
hope
maybe like
so.
a mirror sketch where like he's Harry in the mirror, like we've seen. Like that'd be good.
Yeah, like how Miley did with Vanessa Bayer.
Yes.
As Miley.
Yes.
That would be. Yes.
Miley Cyrus.
Exactly. So I gave it an A-.
Yeah, I was just in a B. It wasn't bad.
I just thought it was a great way to start off the show.
Oh, it was. I just wanted a bigger
Yeah.
payoff. That's
Oh,
all.
okay.
And
So
I
what
wish
would have been your ending payoff?
Hold on. Here's what would have been better for me because they referenced Zach Galifianakis in Between Two Ferns, which is what spurned this whole thing with Obama going on with Galifianakis. If they would have had Bobby Moynihan come on maybe as Zach Galifianakis and something
Disappeared this entire thing until the very
So
end.
did Taron Killam and so did Nassim. What in the world? It was, anyways. That's a
Yeah.
whole. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that later. But that for me would have been a bigger payoff.
Yeah.
I wanted one more element. It was great for what it was.
Yeah.
Topical humor, and they got their political stuff in.
Yeah, exactly. It was good.
I'm
And
not knocking it. B is a great score for me.
Kate McKinnon's Bieber is just always icing on the cake. So great. And you could see when she was kissing Jay, like they were laughing during the whole thing.
You could see.
Yeah.
I don't know if they rehearsed that, but you could see them
Yeah.
both. I don't know if it was an awkward laugh or like, okay, fine, we're just gonna knock this out,
Yeah.
and it was longer than they planned. It was funny.
Her mannerism as Justin Bieber. I don't mean to keep carrying on about this, guys. I'm so sorry. But there's a part where she's just like going, you know how she does the swishing with her jacket?
When she bites
and then
it.
she's like, yeah.
She watched it.
Exactly. And she licks it too.
Yes, I forgot. And, oh my gosh, that's an excellent point.
So yeah.
Right.
Anyways, wanted to bring that up. So the opening monologue by Louis C.K. is his stand-up. We've seen it. He did it last time, wearing his black shirt as usual.
Are you knocking it?
I'm not knocking it.
I
This
can't
made
tell
me,
by your tone.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
What is this?
This made okay. 'Cause we're used to watching the show as an actress or an actor or an athlete, someone who doesn't do stand-up and do a monologue. This was a complete stand-up comedy monologue, which is great because that's who he is, and
Yeah.
that's great. But it definitely made me want to go see him do stand-up. But this is Saturday Night Live. I wanted more Saturday Night Live-ish to it.
Really?
It had controversy in it. I like that.
Controversy? So here's why. So let's just put it out. Obviously, it's known that Louis C.K. is one of the best in the game at stand-up comedy. And this was a chance for him to come in. The writers didn't have to write any of this for him. This is a preview of his new stand-up. And at the end, like you said, I think it left a lot of people, whether they were already fans of Louis or not, wanting to A, go watch more of his stuff, B, turn right over to, I believe it's FX and watch an episode of his show.
Or is it FXX?
Or whatever. But I think that, like, the writers didn't have to write it. It was just him.
Right.
And I think that, and I read this, somebody's review, they said it perfectly. I hope I can get it right. They said something about he walked up to the line of blasphemy and then giggled at it. Not a lot of people can do that. I think that just what he did, he gave you such a good taste of so many different genres of comedy, and it was funny. It was
Yeah.
just him being him. I liked it.
I'm starving.
Oh my gosh! I saw when I exited when I exited the 101 to get here, there was a sign. Somebody's holding a sign and it said I'm starving, and I thought of Louis C.K. and I didn't have time to stop and give anything. I felt terrible, but I saw the line and I.
Were you gonna just give him lines? Be like,
no,
no one in Africa or whatever he said says. You were gonna say his lines.
You know what I do? You know what I do? I give $5 gift cards to BP. I have like 30 of them in my cart, and that's what I give. That's what I was gonna do.
BP?
But the gas station, Beyond
BP?
Petroleum. Anyways. BP, the gas station
Who
that
buys
spilled all the oil.
Gift cards to gas station company.
Because then they can get food, they can get gas, they can get cigarettes, they can get it's their choice from there. But
Sorry, I'm just trying to. I picture gift cards. Okay, never mind.
Steven, I mean, is this a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. I'm just
not a bad thing.
It's interesting. I would assume you say maybe like CVS.
Roya's just hating.
I am hating. I'm a hater.
Haters
I've
gonna
never
hate.
been murdered.
He's gonna
No.
hate. I've never been murdered. The best line, my favorite line from his monologue. I'm wearing a wife beater and child murder shorts.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I really liked his lines about heaven and how he was talking about how do you know there's no heaven? I just know. He's like, so you've been there.
Okay,
You know,
he's
kind of
been
going back
there.
and forth. And he goes talking about God. And he's like, God's in a room with, oh, you're going to be standing with me in a room.
Stand in this room forever.
I've been here since 1983. I don't know when religion started. Like, it was just, it was funny. Okay, my
Also-
description probably sounds like I'm hating on Louis C.K. I am
not.
not. I love that opening. It was great. It was great. It was just,
Also, the
Different standards.
longest opener of the season.
yeah.
I wish I
that
would've
was maybe
timed it.
that was it.
Is that what was the downfall for you?
Because I'm used to being either quick and short to the point, or maybe there's a musical number that I'm used to. I don't know. I was used to a different pace. This was different. I enjoyed it. I'm sure if I rewatch it, I
Yeah.
will love it even more.
I just like the change of the change of scenery to do something different, and I don't know. You didn't know what was going to happen. It's Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Literally anything
Yeah.
could have happened at any moment.
I think he touched everything he possibly could.
Yeah,
So
I gave it an A.
You gave it an A?
I did right off the bat. I have an A.
I gave it a B plus.
Yeah.
I just added a grade because I didn't want to get murdered. I'm just kidding. So the next one is Black Jeopardy.
Alex Treblack.
Yes, the
Just kidding,
50th
it's Donald
anniversary. So they get their own show. Louis C.K. plays a professor of African American studies, confused at the lack of Black history questions on the board, and instead there are categories.
We all know Celebrity Jeopardy was one of the most wildly successful
Yes.
recurring sketches on the show. So to bring it back with a fresh twist was perfect. And because of the little bit of drama that surrounded the racial issue with SNL this season, they didn't need to put it to rest any further, but to come out with a sketch with three people, three
think it
black
was because
people
of political-
as leads. No, not
Okay.
at all. But to
Just
have
coincidence?
to have three black people lead a sketch, I don't
Yeah.
believe it's ever happened on SNL. I think this is the first time. So,
Because
I
they've
think
actually had 3 people now this time.
well, but this is the first time
numbers
they've
are
done
higher.
it. A, B, they didn't need to, but they did it anyways. And I think it was an absolute home run.
Yeah.
Absolute home run. I think they'll do it again because it's easy to slide whoever the host is, whoever the guest is, right into that spot as the
Yeah.
awkward white person. Obviously, you changed the path a little bit, but the premise of the sketch for me was fantastic. Fantastic, even down to little details like what he said. He said Sarah McLaughlin, and he corrects him, McLaughlin. There were so many good wavelengths to this sketch for me. It was my favorite of the night.
Your favorite? Mm-hmm. Okay. It was not my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, it was good. It just was not my favorite.
I'll tell you, it's tied for my favorite, but I'll tell you why later. Yes.
Okay. For me, I liked that they did this, but the thing is, I want more sketches that could be recurring. And this sketch seemed like when it started, oh, Black Jeopardy, they could totally do a recurring. No,
Why couldn't you?
because what are they gonna do? Have a white person every time, and make them feel so like awkward
you
with
ju-
the conversations? That's gonna be an overused joke.
No. You just change the narrative. You don't make it about the white person. You make it about whatever that person does for a profession or something. But then you add little colored thing. People like colored jokes, like we always start late, like Keenan said.
Yeah,
You add something in there.
I feel like it could not be used again
We'll see.
with the new jokes.
Want to bet on it?
What do you want to bet?
We bet that you start a
Yeah.
show and you have to
And-
sing the whole song of whatever the host was.
Oh, great.
The musical
Please,
guest.
I don't want to lose that bet. I don't think the
And
audience would want us.
Steven will join you for
Right?
the harmonies.
So that description, though, because I didn't know how to describe it, I got off of hitfix.com.
Yeah.
It was a blog about it. So I just wanted to make sure. By Ryan McGee. So if you want to see what he posted, check that out. But yeah, so, it had some great lines. I'm
was
trying
your
to find my
favorite?
notes. Hold on. Sorry, they just moved on me.
Who is Michael Vick? No.
Yeah, I like when he goes, what is, psh, no way, Jose.
That was good.
Or who is unemployed? Fellow black man. Sorry, I forgot the last word.
My second favorite line was when he said, "Who is white people having or no money?"
Oh, yeah.
About
what are they lying about?
we would have
What do
accepted
white-
anything.
Yes. What do white people lie about the most?
I gave this sketch an A, another solid A. It's 2 in a row off the bat. You don't see that.
Do you remember the question where it says, had that been me? That's one of
Yeah.
the titles. And it goes, had that been me, I would have whipped his ass when he was young. Answer, Justin Bieber. Literally, right before Sashir answered that, I said Justin Bieber in my head.
Did you really?
I did. Because I don't know why. Maybe because of the opening sketch, and that's why it was in my head. But
That's funny.
I was like, oh, yeah.
And I liked Sashir in this. She's really growing on me.
Yeah, she's got that presence.
She's got a great presence.
Yeah.
Like I want to be friends with her. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could hang out with her and talk about McDonald's or
Yeah, always laughing.
Donald Trump, anything. You'd laugh. Yeah, Sashir's great.
This is probably my next favorite sketch.
I knew this was gonna happen. What would you rate it? You didn't rate the last one.
Oh, the last one,
Yeah.
I rated it a B.
Okay.
Yeah. See? What'd you rate it?
An A.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
what
It's
you-
your favorite.
Baby Boss.
Yes.
Did you predict that this was coming back?
No, but I wanted it back. No, I want Drunk Uncle. That's what I was.
Oh,
I've
Drunk
been
Uncle,
saying.
that's right.
Drunk Uncle is what I've been pushing for the
Yeah.
last few weeks.
Well, and didn't you? No, that was with John. You were mentioning the last call sketch. What did you predict last week?
I predicted. I can pull it up for you, but
I thought you had predicted this. Anyways, you were just. I knew you really wanted this sketch back. So how
I did
excited
back in
were
the
you?
new year, or back before the new year. I wanted it. I was so excited when they showed him in the office. I'm like, baby body man.
Maybe, but I'm glad they waited.
Yeah.
I'm glad they waited because you bring it back too soon, you could spoil it, make it not as funny. So they waited, I think, just the right amount of time. And they upped the game this one big time. I mean, adding like the baby vomit,
Yeah.
the cake in the face, the secret handshake. They upped the game big time. So for me, it was the same. You're laughing about similar things. They just upped it. It was funny.
And the performance is still great.
I'm surprised 80 didn't break when she took cake to the face like a champion.
She did, and she did smirk, but it wasn't like a. I could see it being the character smiling.
character would
that it's a
smile-
baby. It's so cute. The baby's hitting me with cake.
She wasn't
right
sure
now.
if she was going to offend the baby boss. Like, yeah, I think
Exactly.
she was still in character.
I was expecting her character to offend the boss. Wow,
Yeah.
confusing. I'm sorry.
Well, and there's the thing about the sketch is there's not a lot of depth to it, but there doesn't need to be because it's about the physicality. Beck Bennett, you never stop watching him, and whatever
Right.
he does, whatever mannerism,
Yeah.
he so well parallels, and then he dips in a little bit to separating his body and his head, and sometimes he'll bring his head into the sketch, and then separating it to where he's a boss up here but a baby.
Yeah.
You don't need to add any depth to it. So for me, it's one of the best sketches they do.
Yeah, the empty box gag that he did. He's like, I need to.
If you
oh
could just
my
if you
God,
could
he
just hang that
copied-
right out of reach, that would be great for
Oh
me.
man, because my nephew is a year old,
Yeah.
and I remember when he was a baby, like learning to crawl and walk and all that jazz, and he was so cute, making the same mannerism, and I love it.
Do you remember when we had Kevin Farley on? And
Yes.
he was talking about getting spaghetti thrown in your face, and he didn't like that. He said, a lot of times people don't appreciate that because in between the commercial you have to clean up real quick, and it makes more of a hassle.
Yep.
I thought about this when they got stuff thrown in the face, and I wish Kevin was here. So Kevin, if you're watching, let us know what you thought, because I don't think Louis cared one bit.
I don't think Louis cared, and I don't think Beck cared, because Beck took that cake, smashed it right on his head.
He did
and
after he
didn't-
threw it at him. I
Yes.
wondered if they were going to be mad at him, and then he brought himself into the fold and smashed.
Exactly. Yes. I thought the same exact thing during the entire sketch. I was like, Danny, Kevin Farley, too bad you weren't around. But I was like, Danny, mentally trying to channel you.
So I want to know who makes these cakes, because somewhere in New York, they're getting these cakes. I want to know if they're legit or if they're just like a cheap cake from
Such
like.
a random thought. I want a cake.
But
Where
I
is
wanna
that
know-
cake from?
Well, you could do some fun things with the cake, like the product placement, like Ellen did with the pizza. Like someone could, you know what I mean? They could maybe could have done something fun with the cake, or if they just bought like the $8.99 cake from CVS or
well,
whatever.
it's a big old cake.
That was a hefty cake.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever
seen.
seen a cake that big, unless it's an angel cake or whatever from, not like angel cake,
A bunt,
like that color, yeah, a bunt
cake.
That coloring of a cake. I don't think I've ever seen that high of a layer one inside like Albertsons.
You need to get out and see more cakes.
Sorry.
What'd you rate the sketch?
I gave it an A.
A- here. I'm 3 A's in a row to start off.
That's
Have you ever seen that
crazy.
from me?
No. What have you been
I
drinking?
told you I love it. Water. It's good for you.
So the next is a digital short, I guess you could call it. It's the suits from Jos Bank commercial.
Jos Bank.
Bank. Obviously went right over my head.
You don't have to buy. Did the whole thing went over your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna sound really stupid and say yeah.
No, it's not.
But I'm gonna be honest.
So they have this commercial, and if for those of you that have not seen it or heard it, it gets stuck in your head. Buy one, get 3 free this weekend only at Joseph A. Steven, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
They put it on all the time, and it's semi-annoying, but it gets stuck in your head, and then you pay attention, especially if you're a guy. Guys need a suit. They offer this thing where you only have to buy one, and then you get
it's a suit place?
Yes. Well, and it's upscale clothing. I say upscale loosely. You get 3 for free.
Then what's with the word bank?
That's just the guy's name who started it. It's Joseph A. Bank.
Okay.
You thought it was like a bank?
Yes, I thought maybe a bank went under or something.
Welcome to Jose Bank.
Welcome to Jose Bank. Give me your money. I thought
We have
this was
2% interest rates.
guys. Stephen Lemieux with the beautiful accent back there. I wrote amazing in all capital letters, and I'll tell you why. Because as a guy who has to buy suits, I had to wear a suit last night, and I will say it's the nicest suit I own. I didn't have to pay for it. I got the suit for free. Having a nice suit is a thing. Joseph A. Bank is known for giving you quantity, and this is why their thing at the end was so clever. They said quantity guaranteed. They didn't need to make up this big pun because that's the issue with Joseph A. Bank is you want to get a good suit, but you buy one and they give you 3 free, so they can't be great quality.
Okay.
It was a knock on Joseph A. Bank, and I read this on a blog, and this might be accurate, that one of the writers maybe had to buy a suit sometime and got a terrible suit from Joseph A. Bank, and just had to stick it to him a little bit. I didn't see it coming, so when she first pulled it up and started wiping things, I just loved it.
Okay. The fact that is the real. I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it. That is actually pretty funny.
Just playing on that they're
I'm
terrible.
gonna have to rewatch that now that I know that there's a. At first, I'm gonna watch the original commercial, and then I will watch that. The reason why I enjoyed this sketch, besides not knowing what it was about, was the fact that they had Kyle Mooney and Noel actually play children, because that's been an issue that we've been talking about. Why they have child actors in their commercials when they could just have Kyle or someone who looks young play their kid, and it would have been fine. If they were the ones in all the kids commercials before, I think they would have been fine.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great for them to use their cast members.
4 in a row for me. That's an A.
Wow. Well, I gave it a B-, but now that I know the story behind it, I'll give it a B+.
I think that you will see people spread this on Facebook things. I think you'll see this short get shared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if it was a rip-off of, like, those paper towel commercials in general.
Kind of, but then making fun of the company. I think it's more centered on the lack of quality with Joseph A. Bank. I'm curious to see if Joseph A. Bank says anything back.
Yeah, we'll see.
Very curious. I loved it.
Follow him on Twitter, see what happens.
If they have one.
So, Sam Smith.
Song number 1.
He performs.
Stay with me. Okay, tell me. You know I have things to say.
Yes.
Tell me what you want to say first.
I've never heard of him before.
Okay.
When I listened kind of briefly to the first
Steven, while she's talking,
performance.
can you cue up Latch by Disclosure? Just like the middle of the song somewhere?
I've never heard, like I said, him perform. He was good. I thought it was interesting with his getup that he had.
Yeah.
He was wearing all black, and then he had cross earrings.
Yep.
And I thought
He's
it was
from the UK.
interesting. Okay. Well, okay. Still. And then it was just. Is this the part?
That's Sam Smith. You heard the song, right? Top
This
40
is
is
him?
everywhere. He's guesting singing this song with Disclosure. So you have heard Sam Smith. A lot of people don't know this.
I've never heard the song before, but I'm just saying this beat does not fit at all what he was performing.
No, this isn't his music. Steven, you're the man. That was perfect. Thank you, sir. That's him guesting on that song.
But that was his voice?
Yes, with the band Disclosure.
Still would never expect that to be him.
Oh my
out
gosh.
of his performances today.
So this song, Stay With Me.
Or
So
the show.
I was most excited about Sam Smith guesting on SNL this season than I think I have been about anybody else that's been on.
Okay.
But as excited, I should say, as anybody else that's been on.
You were pretty excited about Haim.
Yeah, but Sam Smith is somebody I like Haim. I'm so looking forward to his album coming out in May. I actually was just
What
driving.
kind of music, like, what is his
You heard your
genre?
two songs.
What's his genre?
What would you consider this genre? Maybe like a poppy. It's like an indie pop, is what I would say. I'm curious to see what his actual full length album. It comes out in May. I wrote this down. May 26th. He signed to Capitol Records. The album's called In the Lonely Hour. They just announced this at the end of 2013. He's got a couple more singles on the radio.
Yeah.
That song La La, if you've heard with Naughty Boy, he's also guesting in. But Latch is the most wildly popular. If you guys have not heard it, I'll give one song, besides the ones he sang tonight, to go see on YouTube. He sings that song Latch, the whole song by himself, with an acoustic set. It's hauntingly beautiful.
All right, I'm gonna check that
I'm a
out.
big Sam Smith fan. So he's got Lay Me Down, Money on My Mind, and that was Stay With Me. There he is. This is the acoustic version.
I don't.
Roya.
This is what got him a lot
Oh.
of YouTuber now.
I'm like, look
It's
at
got
my
him YouTube popularity.
It's hard, the days just seem so dark, the moon and the stars and nothing without
Okay, he looks
you,
familiar
your
there.
touch, your skin.
And the thing is, his vocals are
Where do
so
I
technically
begin?
correct.
No words
It's
can
brilliant.
Yeah.
explain the way I'm missing you.
Oh, he's so
Danny,
good.
where were you when I was watching this episode? You
I
could have
know.
cleared so many answers
So
or
watch this
questions.
together.
Danny.
Obviously, I'm excited about Sam Smith.
Now
So,
I'm excited for
May
Sam
26th.
Smith. May 26th. All right.
Yes, In the Lonely Hour comes out.
Well, I'm gonna have to check that out for sure, and you guys should too. So let's move. I mean, his whole performances, he was great. What would you rate? I'm assuming a great.
Oh, A's on both
okay,
of them for me.
perfect. Okay. I didn't.
I rewound both of them, watched them twice, and I saved it on my DVR so I can watch it again.
Sweet.
It was so good, especially the second one.
So now probably my least favorite of the night.
Oh, same.
Weekend update, ladies and gentlemen. But first, why Cecily started the joke, the first one, the opening, the one where she discusses diplomat solutions, and it gets edited. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
I don't know if it was a glitch in the screening room. I rewound it and it was glitched over where it was cut and it ended with her starting another joke.
Oh, I did notice that.
Yeah, and
I
in
got
my
up to get a glass of
subtitles-
water and I was like, where was the punchline? That was weird.
And in the subtitles it said ended by saying, "Okay, love you, bye." But there was none of her saying it. I just had the subtitles carry over.
Interesting. Did you guys know, if you guys are listening or watching, or by the way, for those that are listening, watching, thank you. We love you guys. Let us know if you guys noticed that as well. I wonder if that was an East Coast, West Coast thing
Yeah.
or what happened there.
And
Very interesting.
even when they did cut to her for her next joke, she didn't look upset, but she didn't seem happy. There was something that obviously happened. But there was no reaction from her. And I don't know what it was, if maybe just a glitch, like maybe someone hit a button on accident.
Do you know, I don't know the answer to this. When they do Weekend Update, are
Mm-hmm.
those teleprompter or is that still cue cards like the rest of the show?
I feel like it's cue cards.
If it is, it could be, I don't know if you saw this, Louis C.K. had a terrible time with his cue cards the whole episode. It could be that there was just something going on with the cue cards, and this was part of that. Because there was he broke character in 2 different sketches.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I wonder if, and we haven't got to that, we'll talk about that, but I wonder if it was something with the cue cards.
Yeah, but even if it's cue cards, I feel like they should still know their script.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Especially if they're giving a punchline, they should know the punchline.
I'm going to sound like a
I'm not bashing
super-
on Cecily whatsoever. I love Cecily in Weekend Update and all
Jeez,
that.
I mean, when we know what it's like as hosts, like I
Yeah.
use teleprompters all the time, and it just is difficult sometimes. I just want to know what happened.
Yeah.
I forgot about that till you said it. But
So where can people comment us and let us know what happened?
oh my gosh, you guys can find us on YouTube, on iTunes. By the way, I read through every week all of the YouTube comments. I read them. I try to respond to some. I like the ones that I like. I don't give a thumbs down to the ones I don't like because I feel like that's not necessary. But I just want to say thank you guys for all the subscriptions and tell your friends about it and tweeting us, questions and comments. We love that. We appreciate it. Roy, myself, and Keaton, and all the guests we've had on. And I've had several guests that I've talked to after the show as well that have said they've had people still commenting and tweeting them. So I just think that's cool. We have a great fan base, and we appreciate you guys a lot.
Yeah,
So thank you.
Quick shout out to those on YouTube. Masij. I'm so sorry, I totally butchered it.
what's up?
Maciej.
Masij.
Yeah.
Masij.
And Chris Berry for their comments below. Thanks for listening, and let us know what you guys thought. Especially you, Chris Berry. You have not really been a big fan of the Weekend Updates, especially with Colin Jost.
Yeah, and I'm right with you. Colin for me, you can tell that he does the little bit of the ploy of like the Seth Meyers. He plays the Seth Meyers role a little bit.
Yeah.
He's getting better. This for me wasn't. This just wasn't. It wasn't clicking. It didn't hit. For me, it was very subpar. The jokes weren't that funny.
The whole thing.
Stephen A. Smith, when Jay Farrell plays it, he's so good at it. There's nothing wrong with his impersonation. It was funny. He had several one-liners I laughed at.
Yeah.
But Colin's interviewing of Stephen A. Smith was too much. It reminded me of Seth. And I want him to have his own shtick because
Yeah.
I think he could. I think he's capable. And I think we've seen flashes of brilliance from it. I just want to see it.
I agree. He needs to find his own individual kind of character, because Cecily has it. And we want to do hashtag what? Did Steven bring back Norm MacDonald? Yeah, that's wow, I read that as if that was my own statement. Thank you, Steven. But yeah, so Stephen A. Smith was Jay Farrell, and
Other way around.
Farrell was
but my goodness, if they ever got Stephen A. Smith come on and play Jay Farrell and had Jay Farrell as Stephen A. Smith at the same time, that is a brilliant idea, Roya. Oh my gosh, that would go viral. That'd be amazing. Oh, and Charles
Perfect.
Barkley as well. If they got like Charles Barkley to come on and they got Shaq to come on and them two, Keenan and Jay.
I feel like they've done that before. But not next to each other. I feel like they brought them on
at the
in general.
freaking same time. I would lose myself.
Well, one of my favorite lines that Jay said was, "If I ever want to call him, I tell Siri to complete me." Like, that was, I don't know. Anyways, that was the only hype or highlight for me. I'm really bummed that this one was a, weekend update.
Did you notice that Colin changed his hair? It's much less obtrusive.
Oh yeah, not so fluffy.
It was very like slicked.
He
and,
still looks pretty boyish. I mean, not like in a bad way. He's still.
Yeah,
know.
I noticed he changed his hair.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it until the end. It was something different, and I realized it was his hair because I always notice his hair.
Well.
And it was short. This was like this. It was an abrupt goodbye. Did you notice that?
Good.
It was just
Because
something.
there was something that happened.
Something was off. Maybe I need to dive deeper into some blogs and figure out there's something was off about it because they ended in a really weird way. It was just kind of like joke was over. Well, good night.
Yeah.
That's all we. Yeah. It was
A lot
just
of the
weird.
blogs I read didn't even comment about it, so I wonder if maybe they had an East Coast feed and therefore they didn't see what happened. Because this isn't the first time we've seen a technical issue. You remember when, again, with back in November when Kevin came in and it was for Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson was the host. They had that technical issue where it looped after
right.
the audio looped over from the veterinarian thing, the
Yeah.
vet office, and it started all over again. So they've had some tech issues. Maybe they should really
C
figure that
minus.
out. C minus. Yeah, I definitely gave it a C minus too. Yeah, never done that before. Really bummed. So moving on to Mr. Big Stuff.
Mr. Big Stuff.
I really like
Who
this
do you
sketch.
think you are?
It wasn't my favorite, but I really enjoyed it. I loved having
Why?
because it was the women of SNL minus Noelle and Nassim, but and it had them singing. I love when they do musical
Oh,
numbers.
they sounded great, by the way.
Yeah, except for I didn't really enjoy how Kate McKinnon didn't really talk that much.
She did. I don't think she knew the words. If you watch it again,
Oh, yeah?
I noticed this at the beginning. She she knows the words. Most people know
Yeah.
the words, but she kind of like had to like follow. Like she definitely took like the backseat role, like folled them.
Maybe someone pulled out last minute.
I
and she
missed Kate
filled in.
McKinnon in this
Yeah.
whole episode though a little bit.
Yeah, she was good. I mean, I really liked Louis' comments, his sarcastic comments back.
Did you
to them.
rehearse this? This is
Yeah.
a song.
Yes.
As I said at the beginning, I'm Mr. Medium stuff at best. Yeah. That was, for me, that was an idea that probably snowballed, and they just said, Louis, how can we make this you? And he said, this is how I would do this.
Yeah.
And they probably took a backseat, the writers, to him writing this sketch, because that had Louis' handprint all over it for me. And not my favorite part, but I loved the bow tie at the end of when this camera started to cut out and he breaks character and just starts dancing with it. Because one of his knocks, and I don't know if you guys remember this, one of his knocks when he hosted the first time, they said it was good, but they wanted him to commit a little more, and I think he fully committed in this episode. I mean, he got down and danced. He was a little standoffish, is what some people had said. They labeled him as a little standoffish to the cast. So I noticed a complete difference in his persona and committing to his characters.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines was when he asked the girl, "So you think you would date me?" And then Cecily's
All for
like,
you.
"Oh no, was that the line that he said?" When
no,
Cecily
yeah.
responds like, yeah, sure. I'm
Yeah,
the kind of guy that you would date."
All for you at the same time?
Yeah. They all walk off. So the next sketch is another digital short. It's Better to Know.
It's better to know.
The doctor's office.
Which is an homage to the One to Grow On ads. I don't know if you caught that. Have you seen those ads? The one to Grow On?
Danny, where were you this entire time? I mean, I love the sketch still because
Oh, yeah,
things
it's
getting
great.
up people's butts. It's my humor, especially if it's Star Wars related.
Oh, wait, hold on. Can I pause before we talk about this?
Paused.
Star Wars related. Did you like the joke in Weekend Update about the Star Wars beer that said, will help you not live long or prosper? Did you enjoy that joke then?
Wasn't that Star Trek?
Star Trek. Did I say Star Wars? Mm-hmm. Well, it's...
You can't confuse the two.
But there's similar genres of...
Don't go down that road.
I'm not going down that road. I'm just saying it's
That's a whole different fan base. Don't go down there.
No. I'm just saying it's that kind of comedy. Did you enjoy that? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know. I'm well aware that that's two different fan bases. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, did you enjoy that comedy?
It was beer in Star Trek. I get it.
And I think it was more for Trekkies
fine.
because the audience, I don't think there was any, and nobody laughed.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of thought it was funny. I just thought it was geared towards a certain brand of people. Anyways,
Yeah,
proceed.
Star
Doctor's
Trek
office.
people.
Darth Vader in people's butts.
Talking
is
about
your
Star
humor.
Wars.
Yes.
Star Wars, yeah. I just thought it was cute, and they're like, so, and everybody kept coming by, meaning like, so should I get checked just in case? He's like, well, did you stick a action figure up your butt? And they don't have an answer for him.
Here's why I love this, because we talk about this every week, and I've said this for a couple weeks in a row now. Having an element that takes it dark makes it for me. Out of nowhere, he turns around and he says, you know, I'm getting that age. It's probably just a good thing to do. Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
We have a Darth Vader figure up my butt.
Yeah.
It flipped. He completely flipped the script, and I don't think anybody saw it coming. And from there, when everybody joins in, the best part for me was 80, and I know you probably love that.
I loved 80 when she came in, but my other favorite part was when Keenan came in as Reggie, and he's just mopping. And
You're mopping carpet.
Tim's like, yeah, what are you doing? It's like, I'm mopping. You're mopping carpet.
What did he say when he goes to he goes, do you, Reggie? He
Yeah.
goes, Reggie, do you ever want to be your butt? And he goes, I sure hope not. Or what did he say? He's like, he said something. It was really short, but that was when I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
The hardest was Keenan.
Oh, man. But yeah, and 80's Bryant, she goes, no, I'm a lady. There might be a possible General Grampus in my butt.
I knew you'd love that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Good.
That was another A for me.
Yeah, definitely got an A for me,
And I said
too.
this earlier. That was tied for the best sketch of the night for me.
Okay. Nice.
Who do you think wrote that? I feel like I had a little bit of that Beck Kyle.
I think it was Tim. I think it was all Tim. I think it
Really?
was like how I believe he wrote the bird joke too. The bird sketch. You remember that digital
Yeah.
short? I believe he wrote that too, and I feel he wrote this one. Maybe Louis also was involved in it, but I definitely think it was him. Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, because it had that same vibe, even with that bug story. You remember when he did the bug reporting with, again...
Wait, Tim. Why am I not following Tim who? John?
No. Tim? Am I creating people's voices, names? Anyways, that was my favorite thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You rated it an A as well?
Mm-hmm.
I think Beck and
Yep.
Kyle wrote it.
You do?
Yeah,
No,
that's
because
why-
I feel they wrote the last sketch of the night.
Well, yeah.
'Cause that was
that's Kyle's own. That's Kyle's. It's a previous character. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine.
We'll see. We'll find out.
The next sketch I did not enjoy.
Pajama foreplay.
I thought they were gonna go into a musical number. and then they
Nobody knew.
weren't.
What in the
Mike O'Brien. Why am I calling him Tim?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant John. Where was he in this episode, by the way? Besides playing the kid.
He was the prop master in the very beginning.
Yeah, and then he played the kid in the. He played.
What kid?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
He only was the prop master.
I think that was, yeah.
There's a lot of people missing. But this pajama foreplay thing for me, I looked at it like this the whole time. Like I was just confused. I didn't know. I mean, there was a couple one-liners that were funny.
Yeah.
The funniest part was when he broke character at the end. When he said, I love you, no? And Vanessa kind of looks at him like, what are you doing? And that was where...
The cue card
the
thing?
cue card
Mhm.
issue.
I see that too,
Yeah.
for sure. And they could like cut. My favorite was when he's like, oh, look, there's some scissors. You know, like trying to get that hole going to get some sex.
Just the idea of politely threatening to like have sex in your pajamas, it just was weird.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's okay if you got an accent. Like, they were in the 30s?
Yeah, I think it was like a 1930s
Yeah.
homage. But the thing about the second half of SNL, as we've talked about before, is you can get a little goofy. You can get a little, this isn't for everybody, we're just going to get weird and go with it. And this was a start of a few weird sketches.
And then Vanessa was there finally.
Yeah, finally Vanessa was
After
back.
Digital.
It was just...
Oh, and then a random Bobby.
Yeah, there was a Bobby sighting. Well, why did he come out as a robber and then they threw him out the window?
Because that was the guy that they got arrested into jail, and that's who she was talking about on the phone. It's
But
like,
it-
oh, blah 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 is not going to be
But
happy.
it didn't add to the episode. It just
just-
distracted from their almost breakout into musical performance.
Maybe
Which
to change it. And
this
then
is
end it.
this is my main note for this. If they would have broke out into musical performance, it would have been funnier to me.
Yeah.
The almost idea of like, what are you about to do with?
Mr. Big Stuff. Sorry, I have that in my head.
No, you're good. I saw somebody comment on this too. The backtracks for all the sketches were weird between this one and then the last sketch with Baby Jessica in the well, and they were talking. The backtracks, the music tracks, were
Yeah.
almost distracting. I was thinking more about what's about to happen rather than watching what is happening in this sketch and the last sketch.
Well, do you want to just jump into the last
No.
sketch? No? Okay.
No, we'll get there. I was just saying the
Okay.
backtrack.
Because I have a
was just weird.
comment for that. Just remind me that I have a comment for
Yeah,
that.
but I did like that he broke character at the end.
Yeah?
He kind of turns. He goes, "What?" As
Yeah.
the camera goes to black.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, but it
That's the only
didn't
time
make
I
up for the whole sketch.
No,
though.
I didn't make up for it by any means. It was just I enjoyed that. I liked
Just because there's
actually
more of a
laughed.
behind-the-scenes kind of view for it?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So moving on to what I thought was going to be the most epic sketch ever, and it was still pretty good. Dyke and Fats, Chicago PD.
Chicago PD.
And it's created by Kate McKinnon and A.D. Bryant.
And shot at Burbank
That's
Studios. It could have been 5 minutes and I would have watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
I so hope that they get to do this more.
Yeah.
This becomes a recurring thing and turns into a live sketch. I loved this.
Yeah. It was good. I wanted more. That was a good thing.
No, you can't call us. You don't call us that.
We love each other. We're
We're
friends.
That was great. What did you guys think of that? Because I could see that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But I think most people will enjoy that. I'm curious to see what people's feedback is.
Yeah, I thought they might go off of like a spin-off of the whole Chicago PD show that's out and kind of play off of that with like the 70s.
It kind of
vibe.
felt like a girls' version of The Other Guys a little bit with Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg and Will Ferrell
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I got so intense and pointed at you when I
They're
said
like points. And then the next one is Kyle Mooney and I want to say Beck Bennett as well. Chris Fitzpatrick,
that. Chris Fitzpatrick for class president.
ASB class president.
What did you think of this?
I felt like I was back in freaking middle school or high school having to go vote for the stupid idiot that
Which
wants.
is exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, so it worked for what he was aiming for. It worked. I don't know, dude. Like, it was creative. I really liked it. 28 poems in middle school, 60 poems in high school, and if you vote
elect
for me,
you get a discount.
Yes.
That was great. You don't get them for free, you get a discount. This for me was so, you know that I love Kyle Mooney.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. I love and I've been a fan of his for a long time. This is a character he's had before. One of my favorite characters he does is this Chris Fitzpatrick. So to see him get his own,
So this isn't a character that he's created
it's a
before?
character he's done
Okay.
before. I want Kyle Mooney, and I'm campaigning for this. I want him to have 4 minutes every episode.
Yeah.
He won't always do these weird, awkward characters because he'll develop new ones. But there's some gems that he has. Like for me, this one, and I know it's not everybody's going to agree, but for me, this is a gem. And for people to be able to see it, for the mass world to get on board with what is Kyle Mooney's crazy brain, I love it.
4 minutes live or 4 minutes taped?
Whatever. Doesn't matter. And just give him 4 minutes to do something. Whether it's with Beck, but this is a Kyle thing, I believe, on his own. Jeremy, I'll ask Jeremy Burke that we had on
Yeah.
earlier this season, who's good friends with Kyle. I'll ask him because I know that he gets a little idea. So I'll find out I'll let you know next week if Kyle wrote this on his own.
Here's the thing. So when I saw this sketch, I kept thinking of, I follow Kyle on Instagram,
Yeah.
and he has an Instagram video of him skating around with a skateboard. And I literally thought this was, like, I couldn't figure out if I've seen this before because it's been on SNL or if it was his Instagram, and it's his Instagram.
He plays so many
So-
different characters. Almost everything you
Yeah.
see is a character.
Yeah.
That's why I love him so much because he lives to be this awkward guy. That's
it's great.
And
It
was on
works.
SNL. It worked for him.
Yeah. So what did you give it?
Oh, 100%. A+.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Adored it.
I mean, I gave, out of all of his videos, I gave it a B.
Granted, it's not as good as other ones. I will say that. It's not as good as other ones he's done.
But it's different, and I like the fact that it's different.
Yeah. And the random cops, the little cops things. And did you see this? It was purposely left kind of faint, but for people to kind of see it, that he used Getty Images. Because what it was mimicking is an actual ad you'd see in a school.
Right.
So the fact that he took in these cops clips and it watermarked over the clips that says Getty Images.
I didn't notice that.
Oh my gosh, that just adds to the awkward weirdness for me. The weirdness factor's 10,
Yeah.
obviously, and that's why I like it.
Now, is this supposed to be based back when he was in high school, or do you think it was based now? 'Cause I feel like now the production value would be a lot higher.
I think that's the purpose of it. It's supposed to be terrible production value on purpose. So I think it's based then. I don't know if it matters.
Because
Yeah.
even the music, like his pants, is that style still in for those kind of?
Absolutely not. So yeah, you're probably right back then.
I'm just curious about that. And yeah, so moving on to the last sketch of the night. I named it Boyfriend. I didn't know what to name it. But basically,
Nobody
the
does.
boyfriend apologizes to his girlfriend in the most romantic and yet not romantic way, while sweet music is playing underneath him.
Shut up. Funniest part of it for me was that. And
Yeah.
the fact that AD did it back. The rest of it, no.
Yeah.
This for me, it
Not
was.
even Bobby with his belly and
It's
hot rod
funny.
shirt.
I did not stop watching.
Right.
I didn't know what was going to happen. The unpredictability of Louis C.K. from the get-go is something I like about him, and I think it drives ratings. For me, it just didn't click as far as comedy. I didn't laugh out loud a lot, but it was just the weird. I told you I like weird. I like random. This was very weird and very random. And then the music just progressively got louder and distracted me. I just didn't understand what was happening. But if you're going to put in a weird sketch, put it in at the end of the night. And they did it.
Hit or miss.
Yeah.
I mean, the music, I thought the music worked because it was creating emotion out of the whole sketch for he's supposed to be apologizing to his girlfriend. And yet, if you actually listen to the words, he's not saying really sweet things to his girlfriend.
No.
He's trying really hard to apologize and saying, like, I love you. And when I get into a coma and I wake up in hell, you're the first person I want to see. You know, those are kind of not the right words.
So you want me to die after you go into a coma?
Exactly. So I think the music, if there was no music, it would have been really weird.
Yeah.
But I think the music saved it.
Really? It was just distracting. Same thing in the Pajama foreplay. I gave this sketch a C- for me. I couldn't give it a D because maybe even C- is too low. I still watched it. It was just, it just missed as far as comedy. I didn't understand. They just let the weird fly, which I appreciate. So I can't knock it too much.
But I feel like it was a homage to some kind of movie.
Then please let me know what it is, guy. If somebody knows, let me know. It was just
like not Sweet 16, but something where they're trying to comparison of I would give you my whole arm if I could, you know, that kind of that doesn't work.
You might be right. I'm not sure.
But yeah, I stopped grading after the whole pajama foreplay. I forgot to grade because I was so distracted by that.
Because you were cutting
episode.
holes in your pajamas.
Yes, exactly. Well, I already have a hole. I mean, wait, that was her. Oh man, can we cut that out?
Shut up. So would you grade it right now?
B-, C+.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Overall, I gave more A's out in this episode than I have in a long time. I don't know if besides Drake's episode and JT, which I wasn't here for.
Right.
I was out of town. But besides those, this was in my top 3 of these seasons so far.
It was definitely, I thought, a lot better than his hosting the first time. Except for some of the, it balances. The digital shorts I felt were really good on his, and I was so bad they didn't bring Last Call.
Yeah.
I wanted them to bring that in.
But I think you preserve Abraham Lincoln.
Not Abraham, but the Last Call, the okay.
Kate
McKinnon and Louis C.K. when they're in the bar at the end and they make out. I want that sketch. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave it, I wouldn't say it's my favorite out of the entire season.
Yeah.
But it's definitely up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It left me with questions. We said this question earlier. Where were Taran Killam, Nassim Pedrad, and Bobby Moynihan?
Yeah.
What was going on?
Huh.
Vacation, maybe? Cecily looked a lot tanner. Maybe she got her vacation and they were on vacation.
She got a new puppy.
I'm joking. Did she?
Yeah.
I just want to know where they were. I really missed
Instagram.
I really missed Taran Killam on this episode.
But now I'm going to ask you a question. Does that mean if the key players are gone, that this crew could technically hold their own from when they move on?
Excellent question, Roya. No. And I'll tell you why. Because Louis C.K. saved this. If this was a less interesting host, if this was a less capable host, I don't think this episode does very well. I think that he alone holds so much value for anything he's in that I think without him as the central figure of this episode, with that crew, minus Taran and Bobby, Nassim doesn't get as much camera as they do. Minus those two, I don't think it does as well.
Fair.
I think Louis C.K. holds his own a lot.
That's a very fair
great
point.
question.
Yeah.
You didn't prepare me for that.
I'm sorry. It just came to me right now.
But it's good because that's really how I feel.
Because that makes me wonder about predictions for next week.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
With Anna Kendrick.
I can't wait.
Let's be honest. There's gonna be some fun sketches.
There's gonna be so
and
many
Pharrell
fun sketches. Yes. First time Pharrell is guesting anywhere as a solo artist by himself.
Yeah. So it should be really. What do you think is gonna happen?
I think Pharrell will absolutely be in a sketch. I don't know if they'll do something with his hat. It's become a little bit too topical.
And they already did it this past week.
And they did it this week.
Sorry.
But I do think Pharrell will do something. I don't know what. I
That's
hope
good. So you think he's gonna do something, huh?
No, I hope it's something with singing.
Okay.
Because obviously Anna Kendrick sings as well, so I hope they do something with singing, maybe like some goofy musical number. I hope, this is going to sound bad, I hope he doesn't play Happy. He doesn't do Happy.
Well, he's gonna do Happy.
Then do it as the first song, don't close with it, and then do something we haven't heard, a single that can be awesome as the second song. I'm just over it. It doesn't make me happy anymore. I still sing it, I just don't want to hear it anymore. I don't. I love it. I did. I just don't want to hear it anymore. I know I sound like a negative Nancy. So, what am I going to see from Anna Kendrick? I just hope we have so many pitch perfect jokes and things. That's what I want.
Do you think they're really gonna do that?
Pitch Perfect 2 is...
Yeah, but it's in pre-production.
Right.
So it's not something we'd be promoting.
Right, but you can keep the momentum, keep it in people's heads by dropping a couple jokes about it.
Yeah.
What are your predictions?
I feel, okay, I hope that they do a Pitch Perfect joke. I feel...
One, just Pitch Perfect joke?
Yes, because then there was a host that hosted that I was hoping that they would... Oh, what's his face that I just kept talking about all the time when Kevin Farley was here? Why am I drawing blanks on names? Josh Hutcherson.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more of the whole Hunger Games thing. Mm-hmm. We had one sketch about Hunger Games, and it was the opening monologue. Okay. So I think for Anna, they're going to do maybe in the monologue for her for Pitch Perfect.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to do anything more than that. I think it's just going to be one. But I'm also hoping there's going to be a Twilight joke involved in there, and her being an Oscar-nominated actress and being in Twilight.
She was nominated for Up in the Air.
Yeah.
What if they did something with Up in the Air?
They could, like a flight attendant type
something
thing.
On a flight.
Have someone be George Clooney.
Who would be George Clooney? Taron Killam?
Probably, yeah.
Or Beck. Nah, Beck's got the jawline for it.
Yeah, but Taron's pretty good at impressions.
And he needs a comeback week. Taron needs a comeback week.
So we say for predictions, Pitch Perfect, I think it's going to be one sketch.
Two Pitch Perfect
sketches. You think two? Okay, I
think
one.
Not sketches, jokes.
Jokes?
Yeah.
Oh, well that's... Okay, that's fair, yeah. That's fine. That's fair, you can have
Whether
that.
it's just like a buzz or like a drop of it, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think that's about it. I think I want Drunk Uncle. I'm still on the boat. I want Drunk Uncle to come back, and hopefully
Maybe
a better weekend update.
Taron can be George Clooney, and Bobby Moynihan could do Drunk Uncle. Then you get all of your wishes come true, and they both do a comeback.
I hope so. Because we're definitely not going to get last call on this sketch.
Guys, thank you for watching. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Danny Hoyt.
And guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram as well at... I was about to say yours on accident. At Hey Roya, that's HeyRoya. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week.
We love you guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. We miss you, Keaton.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.